Monica, before you walk out of my life, we were performing in Nashville. It was our 100th show for the Comedy Get Down. We were performing at the Bridgestone Arena. Myself, George Lopez, Ed the Entertainer, and Eddie Griffith. We just got these beautiful rings that Georgia commemorated. Looked like championship rings. We were very happy. We hang out. We were, just enjoying ourselves. We were there with our PD, Kenny Smooth in Nashville, and their promotions department, who did such a wonderful job. And then, we go home like a lot of comedians do, a lot of entertainers in the South. We decided maybe we'll go to the Waffle House, right? But it was 5 miles away, so, I was like, I'm going to lay down. I wake up to the news that was the very Waffle House that was shot up. And one of the young ladies who was shot in that shooting, Sharita Henderson, she worked at our affiliate. She is among the injured. She has a long road ahead of her. She apparently was shot 3 times. This is America's reality. I think we all function to some degree. Let me be clear. I should say, I won't speak for anybody else. I function under the idea, I'll look around, or I'll be careful, I'll avoid certain situations. In other words, you believe for some reason that you won't find yourself in that situation, whether you're prayed up, or whether you're armed, or whether you try to avoid those situations, just whatever kind of way you try to deem worthy. But this is America's reality. We have too many people with access to weapons they should not have. And we also have too many people that have weapons that should not be on America's streets. If you are stockpiling these weapons, you are not a good guy. You're a bad guy waiting for your moment. You're a bad guy waiting to wreak havoc. Now, this young man, according to the accounts, was a troubled young man, but yet he was still able to purchase guns. And matter of fact, if the reports are to be believed, they took his guns away from the FBI. He had intruded in the White House, and they had taken his guns away from him. And his father gives his guns back to him. What kind of father or mother? Because even with Adam Lanza, who was, shot up Sandy Hook, his mother showed him how to use a gun and gave him access to guns. What kind of parents are wreaking havoc on our society like that with your monsters of children? You know your child's a monster. You know he needs help, and what you do is give him guns. You give him guns, and he wreaks havoc on society. And if what is reported is true, and you knew that his guns were taken away from him, you knew your son was walking around with pink dresses on and guns and threatening people. You knew he jumped in pools naked. He's your son. You know your child better than anybody else on earth. And you decided to put a weapon in his hand, and part of his blood is on your hands. Part of the blood of those individuals is on your hands. You put those weapons in his hands after the FBI took them away from you. And I think that if we don't currently have one, there should be a federal law that if you knowingly give somebody a gun that's been taken away from you, know them to be a danger, and you put those guns in his hand, you should be charged with murder. You're not a father. You're not an employee. You're an accomplice. You helped that boy, that monster, murder people. Murder them. I don't know what kind of father would put those weapons, or mother would put those weapons in their child's hands knowing the kind of stuff they're capable of. America has a lot of problems. America has too many guns in the hands of too many people that shouldn't have them. We have a mental illness problem where we don't deal with them. But we cannot also have parents who are not responsible enough to tell their children no, who are not responsible enough to make sure that they're not unleashing a monster on a society. You put those guns in his hands. You helped him do what he did. And to me, I don't care what anybody else says. If what is reported is true, you are every bit the murderer that your son is. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, especially when you shoot it down. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the jazz.